Hello, everybody. Today we have sort of an emergency Q&A. This is not our usual Q&A where we talk about genetics and subjects related to lifestyle, food, health in general. We're going to talk today about privacy, the importance of you, the reader, listener, knowing that your information when you work with My Happy Genes is private. It is not going anywhere. There has been a pretty big scandal with one of the first to market companies leaking data, selling data. We do not do that. Dr. J, can you explain how each individual person who signs up to get an MHG genetic test is protected?
Yeah, and we're very passionate about this topic because I personally don't want my DNA information to be sold to whomever, and who knows what's coming down the line as far as who gets a hold of that data and what ramifications that can have. So when I created this company, I decided that we were going to do things a little bit differently. And so when you take a DNA test from us, the lab only has the barcode number that's on your kit. So that's the only thing that goes to the lab. That's the only thing connected with information about your saliva sample. And so that has no name, no information on it. They cannot hook that up to you. And then the lab destroys that sample after 90 days. And then that information comes back to a kind of a warehouse where we store the information, again, only connected to that barcode. So even if somebody hacked into our database, they wouldn't have any way to hook that information up to you.
Mhm.
That's our first way that we protect you.
I just want to throw in there for people listening who are thinking of buying a My Happy Genes test, which I encourage you to do. When you get the kit in the mail, make sure you copy your barcode number because it's the only way we can identify you. So if you forget to register your test and then you write to My Happy Genes and you say, "Hey, I bought three kits and I don't know whose is whose and I lost my barcode," we have no way of identifying the test and matching it with you unless we have that number.
Yeah, and that's the drawback is that people don't realize that's the only way we
Yeah.
can get your information up to your account. Yeah, that's the frustrating part. And then when you sign up and you buy a kit, of course, you give your name, your phone number, and all of that, but that is only on the sales side. So that's under Stripe. They handle that piece of it and they have an incredible amount of security, but that is never connected to your DNA. So don't be afraid to give your information when you purchase it. Again, there's a big disconnect between how you purchase it and where that information is about you in your sample. So that's number one. Number two is you can label your account anything you want. You can make up any name you want to on there. We don't care what you put on there. As long as you remember what you
Yeah.
it's up to you. So then when you log into your account, you'll log in with your email. So again, whatever email you want to use, you can use a private email. You can even make one up and log in there to your accounts. That's fine. You have complete control over that. So that's our second way of protecting you. And then we're never going to sell your DNA data. It won't do us any good because it's not hooked up to anything. It's not hooked up to information about you, your age, your address, your nationality, nothing. So it wouldn't do us any good to sell it anyway. And that's something I would just never do. And then the fourth thing is that you can delete your DNA data, your reports, and your account at any time. So if you want to just get your DNA done, download that file, download the reports that are created, and then erase everything, you're certainly welcome to do that, and that's fine. And the only person who would have your data is somebody you give permission, like a practitioner, to
Mm.
hook up to your account. In that case, you're only sharing with them. And again, it can't go anywhere but between the two of you. And when you sign up to work with a practitioner, you sign an agreement saying, yes, you give permission to share your information with that practitioner. And so we make sure that you understand what you're doing. You're giving them access to your DNA information, but you have patient doctor confidentiality there, and you can tell them too. You can unlink with them at any time. So you'll deny access to that. If you decide you want to change practitioners, you can say, all right, unlink, and then that information goes away. They won't have it. They won't have it stored over there. So you cut off their access to it, and then you hook up with another practitioner. So again, it's always under your control.
And if there's ever any concern about it, write to us. I hope we've done a good job of explaining this and why you're not at risk.
I know some of the companies out there sold DNA kits at lower than cost levels because they knew on the back end that they could sell that genetic information later on for lots and lots of money to pharmaceutical companies. And I don't know that they sold them to insurance companies, but I know that they sold them to pharmaceutical companies. And in some cases, you may say, whatever, that's fine if they're doing
Yeah.
research. What else could happen? Kind of question. Who else could get a hold of that? Whether it's insurance companies denying somebody coverage because you have a certain gene or a certain risk of a disease, who knows where that could end. I don't mean to be paranoid, but it's something to think about and consider if you decide to keep your DNA with these companies. And I would encourage you to choose a company that doesn't do that.
I was
So,
just going to say that if you decide that there is another company that feels more like a fit, make
yeah.
sure when you read through on their website, if they share, are they collecting data for research, whatever. And again, as Jay said, if you want to participate in that, great. I said that Aura Ring could use my data. I'm great. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm all that exceptional or interesting data
Well,
wise. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
I
some
don't know.
company is going to come after me and go, you with that one weird gene. But you never know.
After all, you are a specimen for sure.
I'm a specimen for sure. Yeah. Anyway, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out at info@myhappygenes.com and we'll be happy to sort you out.
Yes, and just a reminder, when you log into My Happy Genes, you'll see a tab on the top now that says how we protect your DNA data. So if you forgot the things that we talked about,
Mm.
or the bullet points are in there and the information is in there, so you can check it out.
All right, people. We hope to resume our regular Q&As next week. We will, in fact. We'll be back with another food Q&A. Till then, be well. Thanks, Dr. J.
Thanks, GC.